Guys got off to a really nice start tonight, and the offense was really clicking really throughout the whole game, and Patrick was electric and got a little hairy there at the end for sure, but you got to take ACC wins how you can get them, I'd assume.
Yeah, it's there's so many positives from tonight, and we were so close to still almost losing the game, and you learn, like this is not football and it's not basketball, man. The clock is not running out. I mean, would we have a 4-hour and 40-minute game last week? You got to get 27 outs, and we got to learn how to, maybe stay in the game and, up 9-2 and give them credit, and that's the ACC, man. Nobody quits, nobody throws in the towel. The seventh inning is a freak inning. It's one of the few times we had that twilight. Lucas kind of loses the ball in center. Tagger's going to catch that ball behind home plate. I mean, literally, you can't see it, and it drops. We make the error at third. So when you give a team 6 outs in the ACC, you're giving up a crooked number. I thought Patrick, man, I don't know if it's his best outing of the year, but as a pitcher evolving as a Friday night guy in the ACC, man, there was conviction tonight. He was aggressive. Yes. And I wish we could have got him through the seventh, and without the twilight, we probably do. But he still gets frustrated, and I think he hits a guy and loses the zone just a little bit. But I was really pleased with what Patrick did, and I thought overall, on a night where we give up, oh my gosh, I thought we pitched pretty darn good. I thought our positioning, we could have helped Schweitzer. He might have hung that curveball a little bit, but man, I thought Schweitzer came in and looked good. Obviously, Wyatt is good, and Bivin, man, just has some bad luck. Man, he gets an out. If Kamayu, it's a little out of his reach, he makes that play. It's 2 outs, nobody on. One more pitch, and we could have won this a lot cleaner. And so I know it eats away at Tucker, but that's baseball, man. It's the hardest 3 outs to get. You see how competitive teams are, like we were in the last 3 outs. And so I love the kid, and I know he'll keep fighting, but I thought we pitched a whole lot better than the scoreboard showed.
And I was going to ask, obviously the strikeouts from Patrick, and, Schweitzer came in. It was a tough spot, and, he did give up the 1 hit, but he did get the 2 strikeouts, and, kind of limited the damage a little bit. You said you were pretty pleased with what you saw from him?
Yeah. I take back the 1 breaking ball he threw to the left-handed hitter, and he hits a double down the line, and I'm probably mad at myself that I'm not playing a little more conservative there and don't give up the double down the line. And but I like the look. I like the presence. Our young guys, as we've said, you've seen them. They're talented. They're going to help us. We had young guys in the bullpen. Eberle was ready to come in, if we go in the extras. And so a lot to learn from the game, man. It's better to learn when you win, and we definitely got their attention tonight. But you got to earn it, man, especially in the ACC. And it wasn't pretty there the last 3 innings, but we earned it.
What's the conversation like in the outfield with the guys after a game like this?
I probably should have just flipped the shirt to Munroe and just said, let's take our hats off for the prayer. But I just love teaching the game, and just want to talk about the game for just a few minutes. We don't cover game notes or anything, but just hey guys, you got to play a full 27 outs. You just, like I said, the clock's not running out, and it looked like we went into a little bit of a 4 corners preventative defense mode. All right, how frustrated do we get as fans when you see in football they back off, and the team scores in 2 minutes? And why do they do that on defense? It's just, I don't know. It's like we just look like we went into like a prevent mentality, and it's not the way. So you hope they learn. I got to do a better job of making sure they learn. And it's also now, if we do bunt or if we steal, the value of a run is huge. When you're up 3 or you're up 5 or you're up 7, when you got a chance to get a run, you got to get a run. And so just a lot of teaching points that we'll address tomorrow and throughout the spring.
The game-winning hit from Munroe, I mean, has he been maybe even a little bit better than what you thought he might be when you first, when you get a commitment from him and versus how good he has been so far this year?
I mean, we're always optimistic on our guys. We always think the best. We're like parents, and we see their potential and their best. I will say I felt most comfortable with him in that at-bat than the other at-bats. Where some of the other at-bats where he looks like he tries to do a little too much, or when you're up 7 runs, I don't know if he's he's good enough to have a good at-bat, but my point is there's something about guys when the game's on the line and they lock in, and we talk about Corey Ray and other great players in our program. There's some guys who can pad stats, and there's some guys who perform in those moments, and that's where you don't know if a kid has that when he's coming in. He's talented, but he's earned that. I mean, you see he's performed. I mean, from the first game of the year, the double against Texas late, like when the game's on the line and the at-bats is as big as it's going to get, he has shown the ability to keep the heart rate where it needs to be. And wow, I mean, some huge at-bats this year, and that's such a confidence booster to have, not just for him, but for our whole team. And they can learn from that too, as to don't get too high, we always say, and don't get too low. And he might not have had a great night tonight. I didn't really even look at the box score yet, but I just remember him, a couple of fly ball outs, and I don't know if he had a great at bat, maybe until that one. I think he had a good walk or something earlier, but I'm just glad he's in our uniform, no doubt.
And one last thing, is there any more extra? Does this one feel even just a little bit better, just as a sort of a bounce back from the last couple games?
It's we're at home. It's an ACC game. We've shown the ability to play good at home. Now, can we turn the page and bounce back tomorrow? And so, like I said, don't overanalyze, and let's not get ahead of ourselves, man. We showed some toughness tonight. We made some mistakes and let some things get away from us, but we fight. And Kamayu spoke to the team and talked about the top of the mountain, man. That it doesn't change. Are you going to keep climbing or are you going to quit? And he challenged his group to keep climbing, and we did that tonight.
Awesome. Another big comeback win, man. I mean, you guys just keep stacking them up, and I'm sure you'd rather not have to come back and get W's, but you'll take them how you get them, I'm assuming, correct?
Yeah, they gave us a taste of our own medicine there in the ninth inning, something that we do to a lot of teams. They did to us, but we'll take wins. Regardless of how they come, we'll take them.
Especially in the conference. I mean, a couple rough outings the last couple games you've had, but it's got to feel good to kind of feel like you get back on track. The offense was really solid tonight, picked up a lot of hits, and obviously then, late with the big base knock to win the game, that's got to feel really good.
Yeah, it feels amazing. I think we lost the chip on our shoulder that we had at the beginning of the season a little bit as we got into conference play. So we got exposed a little bit, but, this team's going to make adjustments.
Talk to me about the approach there in the for the game-winning hit. What are you looking for? What are you seeing? And kind of does the approach change a little bit throughout the at bat? What are you going through there?
Yeah, so they've been shifting all night. As Lucas abused it tonight, we had a couple lefties even abuse the shift as they left the 4-hole open. So I wasn't trying to go in the 4-hole there, but I knew if I was getting my fastball on the outer half, that's what I was going to do with it. If I would have got a breaking ball, I was going to pull it and do what I do, but I'll take what they give me.
And as you have continued on this kind of torrid pace here, hitting this season, I mean, what is that really the key? Is just kind of honing in on exactly what you're looking for and really zeroing in on something specific?
I would say a little bit. It's always zoning in on the fastball. I think in the past I haven't been always committed to the fastball because I've been spun a lot, but then even now that I'm getting spun, staying on the fastball has allowed me to have a lot of success hitting both the fastball and the off speed when they throw it.
And one last thing, talk to me just real quick about, you know, what a win like this can do for this team. Like you said, get you a little bit back on track and just kind of feeling good about yourselves heading into the rest of the weekend.
It's gonna. I think it's going to put us back on track. I think it's going to take us where we want to be. You know, we're hungry again, and that's makes us really dangerous.
And one last thing, just I know I said that before, but as the guys come up, just again, like this team, right? I mean, just the brotherhood that you guys have. Can you just touch on that and what it means just to be doing it with this specific group of guys?
It's something different with this group. It's something special with this group. And I think, you know, we have each other's back to the fullest. And we got something special going on. So I'm excited to see how the season pans out. But regardless, it's going to be a special team here.
Awesome. Thank you.